one way or the other in the business life. But when it continuously happens, then something is wrong with that business. So if a business continues to to meet its targets, every now and then there's a business failure. So look at what I wrote here. Business fails when it's unable to meet its targets or objectives continuously. That is, it continuously fails to meet up its targets. That said, there's an objective that has been set, but the business is unable to meet up with this objective. Then it's a business failure. So there are different reasons why businesses fail. So businesses fail because they cannot raise finance, find difficulty using cash flow. Others fail because they don't have effective plan. Logically, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. So what I'm saying is this. Some businesses will fail because they don't have an effective plan. Others will fail because they are unable to maintain the cash flow. So whichever ways, it is important for a business to plan, because if not, to plan effectively, if not, the business would fail. Now goes one of the causes of business failure, which is cash flow problem. We're talking about cash flow problem. We're talking about cash inflow and outflow. These are called cash flow problems. These are caused when the business runs out of cash. Liquidity is the lifeblood of any business. Without it, operations might be stopped. So it is important for businesses to understand how the cash flow works. If not, there's going to be a problem. Because a business will not be able to run effectively. A business will not be able to be in operations without liquidity. So that's why I said liquidity is the lifeblood of every business operations. So what are the causes of cash flow problems? Number one, overtrading. We're talking about overtrading. Here, the business is venturing into different projects, into different production with insufficient cash. It's good to overtrade. It's good to explore. It's good to spread your risk as a business. But when you are doing it too much, excess of it becomes a problem. Because when you invest in production, different production, you invest in production A, production B, production C, sort of different productions. Yes, you are spreading your risk. But when you do that so much, it means you are spending so much. Cash is going out of the business so much, and nothing is coming in. That is overtrading. Overtrading means what? A business is venturing into different productions without sufficient funds. Two, investing too much in fixed assets. Assets is a capital expenditure. It is good to invest in capital because it's a long-term plan. It's a long-term return. But the problem about investing so much in capital is that it would hold on to cash. You might not be able to use that cash for daily earnings, like for your revenue expenditure, because for every business there is one called capital expenditure, revenue expenditure. So when you invest so much in capital, it might affect your revenue expenditure. It might even affect the cash available to the business. So here I wrote, asset purchase takes huge capital investment. This might reduce the cash available for businesses. So because the business has invested on equipment, the business has invested on machinery, it's taking chunks of cash from the business. It's holding on cash to the business. And especially when the business is investing on capital that are not going to be useful for the present situation of the business. That's just going to keep cash away from the business, and what the business is going to have left might not be enough to run its operations. The third one, allowing too much credit. Most of the time, businesses want to be loyal to their customers. They want to keep their customers. They want their customers to always come back. They want customer loyalty. As a result of this, they sell on credits to their customers. So that means the business is having so much debtors. And if a business is having so much debtors, what happens? Cash will not come into the business. The cash inflow will be less, will be reduced. Then how will the business be able to make reorder when stocks are done with the business? So the business would not have enough money to reorder stocks, because all the stocks available were sold on credits to customers. So a lot of credit customers selling so much credit or giving too much credit becomes a problem for the business, because the business will not have cash inflow. Cash is being stored with different customers, which we call debtors. The fourth one, over borrowing. Businesses will borrow. Businesses can borrow. It's not a crime for business to borrow. But when you borrow too much, when you take loans that are so much, it affects your expenditures. That means you have to pay so much interest because the rate at which you pay interest, because whatever you take loans, you have to pay interest. So your interest to be paid will be more. So you pay more. That means cash is going out of the business than what is coming into the business. That's another problem. And the next one, seasonal factor. When we talk about seasonal factor, what are we talking about here? So businesses have their time to invest and their time to harvest. So here, some businesses in the present time, in a certain time, they spend so much, like the farmers, they spend so much when they are planting their crops. But without cash coming in, there's cash outflow when they are planting their crops. But it is when they are harvesting that the cash inflow comes in. So it is seasonal. Here, there's going to be a time they spend so much without anything coming in. And there's going to be a time they get so much without spending anything. So that is seasonal factor. Then we go to external factors. When we talk about external factors, we're talking about those factors that are beyond the control of the business. For example, we have economical, legal, political factors. All these ones, there's nothing the business will do about it. Rather, the business should just find a way around it. For example, like what is happening in Nigeria right now, exchange of the currency to new currency, new notes. So it's difficult for businesses, it's difficult for individuals to have this cash available. So a lot of transactions are done via different online banking system. So it means businesses do not have cash available with them. As a result of this, there's cash shortage in the market. There's cash shortage. Suppliers need cash. Customers need cash. Everybody needs cash. So this situation, businesses cannot do anything without anything around it. They can only walk around it. So they might be short of cash because of economical situation. They might be short of cash because the legislation of the government is making different policies regarding cash. Then the last one, poor financial management. Sometimes it depends on the kind of managers we have. If managers are those managers that cannot effectively estimate the cash inflow or outflow of the business, then it becomes a problem for the business. So look at what I wrote here. Lack of financial experience or poor financial plan on cash flow will lead to cash flow problem. So it is important for businesses to employ managers that can estimate, that can effectively estimate the amount of cash that will be made, that the business will need, and the estimated cash that the business will have in different situations. So this is all about reasons why businesses fail and causes of cash flow problems. Thank you.